Well, here we are again for another episode, and there's always this debate. It's kind of like the chicken and the egg. Nick, is it buying the lot first or working on the plan?
Well, you can go either way. There's no right or wrong way, in my opinion. The one down thing fallout with example for this lot, the customer had a plan, spent a long time working on it. The plan didn't work for this lot, but they really love the lot, so now we have to redesign the plan or come up with a new plan for this lot because there is rules and regulations of how much house we can put on the lot. So really, I feel like if you got your heart set on an area where you want to be, maybe the school district, who knows what it is, you know, the views. This one was bought for the view, the space, the view. That's a key factor. So then we're gonna take that space and okay, we only have so much width. Now what can we fit in there? We're gonna go with the design. So that's kind of where we're starting.
So, what are some of the other factors? Like, would you consider topography, HOA in looking
Those
for
are a lot of factors. HOA, topography. We've had clients on a hillside. Are you prepared for that cost? A hillside house is going to essentially cost, depending on the lot, but one was $100,000 just to get it ready for the pad. I've had looked at some where it's $200,000, $300,000, or $100,000 just to get the site ready, or even get the driveway in because it's all rock.
Right. So the other one that I found interesting in working out was one we were working on about pets,
Right.
big and small. How often do people think about that?
Right. I mean, a lot of people have their pets around. Of course, this is a horse property, so that's do you want horses on your property? Do you want the ability to have that? So those are all things you got to factor into where your location is.
Now, another thing that we've learned in doing this is also being close to Wi-Fi and cellular service when you're picking a lot.
Right.
That's something that we would never have considered before, but in these days, it's
yeah, it's highly important. I know this area is kind of, unfortunately, intermittent being here. So it is a factor, but obviously once you move in, then you can have your Wi-Fi or whatever, but it's important to have your utilities. This one, in case we're going to have powers already to the site, water will be to the site, so we don't have to drill a well. Those are factors. If you buy a lot somewhere that doesn't have water service, you're going to have to put in a well. That's $30,000 to $40,000.
And septic, if I remember.
Correct. So this one will have to do a septic. Some lots you might have access to your sewer, but like this one here is rural. So we have kind of a combination. What I would call it a combination is rural city combo. We have connections here. I can get Cox. I can get the water. I can get the utilities for power, but we have to use septic for the rest.
Now, if a customer has their heart set on a plan, what are some of the key components they need to consider?
I guess just find that a little bit.
Well, okay. What about room size?
That's an important factor because, well, here's another thing I've had twice at least. They pick house plans online, houseplans.com. Great, look, it's $1,800. I've got the plans. They don't work.
Right. What are some of the factors in that?
Well, they're generic plans. They don't go through every state or every county's. They think they go by the National Building Standard, but they don't. They don't put enough information in there, so they're vague. So now what you got to do is essentially what we've had happen is they hire us to take the floor plan they like. Then we have to pay an architect to redraw it.
Okay. And that also would involve some engineering, correct?
Yeah, generally most any plan anymore requires engineering. Like you said before, room size is important. This one here, they picked the house plan they liked, but they needed some changes, so we can also do that too. So we found the house plan we liked, then it didn't have room for the RV garage, so let's kick out the RV garage. Well, this has got a beautiful view, so why not have a very large back porch?
Exactly.
So bumped it out, expanded it across, made a couple modifications. Now it's really custom to the homeowner.
Right. And some of the things we've also been working on is casitas. How do you envision that?
Casitas are very, I say hype, they're very popular right now just because of the housing market and where it's at. And now that the cities and counties have allowed that to be possible, obviously there's still some restrictions. We have to be able to fit that within the space that we're allotted. I've had people come look at me, I want an ADU. Fortunately, your house is so big on the lot, we have a max lot coverage, we can't fit it.
Right.
But it is a nice feature because if you have the in-laws or family over, then it gives you that extra space.
Right. That's also if I'm understanding our current government right, they're trying to create an environment for multi-generational housing.
Right. I mean, that's a very popular thing. For a while there, multi-generation, like that second kitchen wasn't allowed. Now they've allowed that to, we can essentially, you see it in some of the regular tract homes, where you can have that second kitchen,
Right.
or separated space. So we're going to bring on some floor plans that already have that in there, or try to have some plans that are ready for that to option out.
Now, when it comes to a plan, what else should they consider when it comes to open spaces inside the house?
Everybody's got, I think, their own feel of how they want their home to feel. Theirs, their home. I feel definitely open spaces are very popular right now. The older homes, they were very tight. So open ceilings, so you have the height. Rooms, I mean, let's be straightforward. The houses that in a lot of these houses are very small boxes that are very uncomfortable to live in. Especially as kids growing up, they want the computers, they want all this extra technology, and it doesn't fit with the bedroom and desk and everything else. So if we can make that more custom fit to the homeowner as everybody grows, they're not going to stay small very long. They're going to grow.
They'll need more space.
They need more space.
Yep. Another interesting one that I was looking at and we were talking about was the RV storage in these plans. What are some of the things we can do there?
Well, obviously, it depends on the plan and the layout. With example, this house plan had an RV garage attached. Well, we can't do that. So I think the plan is in the future we'll add one in the back for the client, and then it's a very popular thing. Everybody's got their toys. They want something to store it. So why pay for storage if we can work it into the space?
Right. What about pools?
Pools, Arizona, well, Southern Arizona, they're very popular, right? So we can definitely work with that. We have great pool subcontractors, so we can help connect you with those and get that all done at once. So that by the time your house is done, you're not like, okay, I got the house done, now I got to dig it up for the pool. Let's schedule it all. Let's get it all permitted and everything together. So once we're all done, your home is complete, ready to live in and enjoy for years.
Absolutely. Now, I'm new to working with Nick, but one of the things that I know that kind of is something about him is his passion or his concern for the client. So what's important to you in the client relationship as we build a home?
Communication, transparency, just making sure we work with them, getting what they want, making sure that we let them know that, especially if there's an issue, there's always going to be an issue with the project. Hey, we're not going to hide it. We're going to let you know. That's about being open. It gives you comfort level of trust of knowing we're here to protect you. We're here to make sure it's right. I've seen a lot of builders where they just take shortcuts, and we're not going to do that. We're not going to sacrifice quality at any expense.
Yeah, and I think one of the things from both of us having years of experience in the new home construction industry, it's also building that relationship so that we have so much of that up front.
Right.
That information, because that's one of the other things that people are concerned about is time, price, and change orders.
Yeah.
Those things, if we can really nail that down, that's what you want us to do in serving the customer.
Well, yeah, and that's why once we get the full plans, we get that all crossed out ahead of time. So that way it really eliminates the need for change orders. The change orders at that point are the customer decided to go with a different tile or a different counter, different, so the minor things, the change order might be just literally changing out the material. The cost might not be the different, but we're really trying to narrow down that cost.
Exactly. Lot, plan, which is first?
You decide.